As the debris is cleared, you can see just how deep the crater is, caused by a missile, say officials, packed with 100 kilos of explosives. This is my first time in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories. I'm James Waterhouse, and for the past few years I've been the BBC's Ukraine correspondent, and I've been sent here to help with coverage of the US and Israel's war with Iran.
The police evicted 15 Palestinian families.
You can't have Iran with a nuclear weapon.
We should probably get inside, Joe. And this is Jerusalem, a city of huge religious significance to its population of mostly Jews, Muslims and Christians. The deep history of this place is plain to see, but it's intertwined with heavy security and a constant tension, really, between its different communities. And on top of all that, Israel is once again involved in another conflict. Jerusalem is roughly split in two. Israel controls the city and sees all of it as the country's capital. But Palestinians, Arabs who live here too, see East Jerusalem as a capital of their future state. But under international law, this part of the city is occupied by the Israelis. And as the world's attention focuses on the wider war, violence from extremist Jewish nationalists, known as settlers, against Palestinians has been getting worse. In East Jerusalem's neighbourhood of Silwan, Khalil Bazbos had his lifetime home seized by settlers who see this land as their own.
It was 10:30 at night, so we were forced to evacuate and put some of our belongings out in the street. There were young children, 3 of them all under 10 years old. I refused to hand over the key. I told them, because my father gave me the key, I will give it to my grandchildren, so that it remains a memory as a hope that we will return.
I've been living in this for 63 years. Then someone who's 17 years old comes and tells me that this house is his, that Jews used to live here.
The settlers have increasingly been doing this with the support of the Israeli government and its military, meaning there's little Palestinians like Khalil can do. There is a defiance in these narrow lanes, and this isn't just about division. It's about confrontation, and you can see it. And it's a hostility you sense that is only being fueled by Israel's participation in this wider war.
And this used to be like a Palestinian space between two Palestinian neighborhoods. So what happened last week is that the police evicted a couple of buildings, 15 housing units, evicted 15 Palestinian families from them just in front of us, just over there in that part of Silwan. This is based on the claim that the property belongs to a settler organization, but the settler organization got control of the property because of Israeli legislation.
Israel, with America, is carrying out airstrikes on Iran, its long-standing enemy. It's targeted military sites as well as the country's leadership. But hundreds of civilians are thought to have been killed as well. The country is also fighting Iranian-linked militant groups on its border. So many Israelis I've spoken to say they feel threatened by neighbouring states who don't want the country to exist.
You can't have Iran with a nuclear weapons, which is, threatening not just Israel, threatening some other countries. So I think Israel doing the job for the rest of the world. That's what I think. Some people hate us for that.
I think Iran and basically call it the Far East, have been run by crazy people whose worldview, beliefs, philosophy, core modus of operation from which they see reality is not only different, it's poisonous. And that's something that will upset people to hear, I'm sure, but I've lived here. I've seen it. I've lost friends to that poison.
We all can live together, love each other, everything. But all the politics, up, all the day, look for fight.
It's interesting, many Israelis, not least the government, want to keep pushing on with this war to weaken Iran and its allies as much as possible. But it's how security or even peace is achieved, or how it arrives, which is proving to be so divisive and controversial.
What are we doing, James?
So the day starts with a bit of radio. I'll go on Radio 4, the World Service, 5 Live, and then we come up to this delightful weather to do a bit of telly. And then we'll get on with our day. We'll see what filming we can do, who we can speak to, either for a piece or just to get an understanding of the story. And each day is different. So this means an Iranian ballistic missile is coming in, and the sound will soon tell you from what direction, but we should probably get inside, Joe. And there we go. And you'll see here in Ukraine, you might have a bit of time when the sirens go. Here less so. When you hear them, you head down. You try and get 2 walls, at least, between you and the outside. You won't have to wait too long before you hear the air defences, or worse, an impact.
Property damage following a missile attack there overnight. Tel Aviv also coming under rocket attack. So let's cross over live to Jerusalem because my colleague James Waterhouse is there. So James, numerous strikes across Israel. Just bring us up to date where we are.
It's been a lively morning, Kasia. We've had 2 very loud explosions in the space of This is the bit where we can get on with our day. The weather is not getting any better, but we're just going with Musa now across the city to the BBC office to see the team there. While some journalists come and go from this region, there is a team who is based here permanently. Yolande Nell is one of the Middle East correspondents. So what's it like to work and live here?
It's not easy. I mean, I've been here for quite a few years and we used to have lots of upheavals, quite regular wars, but not anything like the concentration, the intensity of the last 3 years. Yeah, there's so much going on every day that you have to try to take account of. And actually, it's not that easy to sort of like see with your own eyes the action. There's Israel also fighting against, this Iran-backed group Hezbollah in Lebanon, with a huge military operation that's unfolding there. And if it wasn't for the war in Iran, that in itself would be leading the headlines.
As far as global stories go, this one is significant. It's a big deal. And despite wars elsewhere, you suspect this one will continue to dominate. We woke up to lots of alerts on our phones about missile strikes in Tel Aviv, a city further north. So we're heading there now with Yolande to see what the damage is like. And it doesn't take us long to find it. This district is mostly made up of ultra-Orthodox Jews. I've just been speaking to the police and they say 50 people live in this block and 6 were injured after this damage where you can see the roof has been completely destroyed in part, caused by a cluster bomb. So that's an Iranian missile that explodes before impact, spreading explosives over a much greater area. And even if a missile is intercepted, the falling debris can be dangerous. And of course, some missiles get through, causing much more damage. Because most flights are cancelled, thanks to the missiles, the main way home is by crossing the border into Jordan, and you pass through the lowest place on land in the world. It's more than 400 metres below sea level here, and it can suddenly feel pretty hot. So I've now crossed into Jordan, and you feel like you leave the intensity of the war behind you, really. There's so much more to this region with amazing food, culture, there's striking geography with all of the surrounding hills, and Of course, it's such a religiously significant place, but all of those things, for now, seem to be eclipsed by the ongoing fighting. But of course, that will one day change once more.